Good morning, Fret Friends, and for those of you who don't know me, I am Victor Christian and I am Fret Friend UK. Very quick video this morning because it's not really a it's not a repair video. It's a project video, but it's for a guitar I've just sold, and I'll show you what it is. And it is an old battered Omen 6. I believe it's the Omen 6 Extreme model, and it's battered and it's knocked about. It's got chips, it's got gouges, it's got scratches. But I've just sold it on eBay. And I put it up for 48 quid, and obviously it went really quickly. And it's a fantastic guitar, made in Indonesia, blah 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 blah. But I just want to explain my story with this guitar. And I bought this from one of my clients. In fact, I didn't buy it. I did him a setup for it. So it cost me about 50 quid setup. So it cost me a little bit of time. But it is absolutely battered. It's got smashes everywhere there. I had to put some resin epoxy in there to fit the jack. I'm not even going to show the scratches and things because it's covered in them. The headstock is smashed to bits, but everything is solid. There's cracks in the neck area down there, but everything is structurally sound. And end of the day, it's about how it works and how it plays. Now the frets need some attention. I thought I'd leveled them, but I haven't. But I'm going to level the frets today. We're at 5 high frets anyway, so I'm going to level the lot. When I got the guitar, I didn't know at the time, but this pickup didn't work, so I binned it, proper Schecter. But this is basically these Schecter pickups are made by D&G in Korea, and that is a D&G bridge pickup, so I put that in there. So that's the way it is. I've just done the electrics. I just went to wire in the neck pickup, done the bridge pickup, just tested it, everything. We've got a push-pull in there. Can you see that? We've got a push-pull just here. Brand new pots, brand new wire. I just tested everything. Now what I've done is, and I like to do is, that's normally the neck volume, bridge volume and tone for both, and it's push-pull. But I do the bridge volume here, neck volume there, which I've done, and the push-pull is still there. So independent volumes work independently. It means if you're on a bridge pickup, you turn your neck volume by accident and it won't do anything. On some guitars you try that and it'll turn the volume off as the bridge volume would as well. So you've got independent volumes on there. Not a lot more to say. I've got the proper knobs which are going on there. I've got the proper bridge which will be going on there. Like I say, today I'll be doing a fret level. I'll re-crown all the frets, polish all the frets, I'll clean all the fingerboard up. Structurally, this guitar is absolutely bang on. It's a fantastic neck. Now, I originally bought this just as basically a pickup tester. But I don't really need a pickup tester right now, so I decided to move it on. And I've not made any money on this. Cost me, with the pickup and the parts, it's probably cost me about 75 quid. Tuners as well, not original tuners. You've got one original Schecter, one there, and just 5 cheap Chinese efforts there. They do hold tune. That's all I can say about it. I'm sure I do have the guard for the back somewhere, the control plate. I may also have the truss rod one. Truss rod works absolutely fine. They're tiny as turn and it bends. It works absolutely properly. A much better guitar than I've given it credit for. And I've sold it for 48 quid. I've maybe done myself a disservice here. Maybe I could have done with that, got 100 quid for it. But at the end of the day, I'm not bothered. It's just in my way at the workshop. So I'm going to crack on, finish. I'm going to wire in this pickup, the neck pickup. Just show you the wiring again if you want a quick look there. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to wire in that pickup, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to turn the camera on the guitar, and I'm going to test the pickups on camera so you can see that everything's working right. They'll be splitting absolutely fine. This will be a fantastic guitar to play. So I'm sure the new owner, Spencer, is going to be very, very happy. A wonderful, wonderful neck. But just too much work needed on this to get it up to spec and make it really, really nice. You're not going to do it. There's absolutely no point. I don't know the history of the guitar. I just know a friend of mine bought it down and said, "Do you want it?" And he wanted 50 quid for it. I said, "I'll do a setup." So that's it. So there you go. It's a Diamond Series. I listed it as Omen 6 Extreme. Whether it is Extreme or not, I don't know. Maybe I think the Extreme model has just had the coil split on there. I think that's the only difference. It's got the same. It's got the right neck. It's got the binding. Where is it? 5-ply binding, as the Extreme does, sir. For all intents and purposes, to me, it is the Extreme version. I'll be sticking a set of Diodario 10s on here. Blah 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 blah. I'll just be setting it up in normal standard tuning. Because the owner has not specified anything in particular. Anyway, going to crack on, get the pickups wired in, get the knobs on, come back and test it, and then I can move on to the neck and the frets. Oh, one more thing. I was hoping to post it tomorrow, but I don't know if that's going to happen yet because I've got a really busy day today. I've got a busy day. I've got to go out into town. I've got to pick up some boxes, a couple of guitar boxes for shipping. I've got a busy day at church, and I'm in church tonight. So, you know, we've got a bit of a worship thing going on in church tonight. So I may not get this finished proper today, and I want to give it the time and attention it deserves because I did say it plays pristine, and it will play pristine when I've done it. Anyway, back shortly. So, real quick demo, just showing the pickups. I've got the pickup selector in the middle position. It means both pickups are on, and both pickups are on full. So there you go, you get the idea. Right, that's both coils on, Let's split the coils. That coil off, that one on, this one on, this one off. There you go, so we've got the split coils working. Now volume, or tone first. And this one, well, I'll just put it on the bridge pickup. Doesn't seem to do a lot, does it? Well, it does. It's working, but it's not that brilliant a pot. So there you go. Got all the electrics working. We've got the split coils working. We've got volumes working. Tone is working. Volume. We'll go on just a bit. Just bridge on its own. Neck volume does nothing. Neck on its own. Bridge volume does nothing. So that is the electrics sorted. I'm now going to move on to getting these frets levelled. So the guitar is now beginning to take shape. I'll put the knobs on. The back plate's just dropped off. I'm going to show you electrics anyway. There's the back plate. Blah 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 blah. Just put the knobs on. Here is the bridge. String through design, as you know. I'll sort out which way the bridge goes. I'll probably go on that way, but I'll know by checking where the intonation is meant to be. I'll be doing this, but I'll be resetting the intonation anyway. I think we've got thicker slots on this end, so I think we're about right like that. Just going to hold it on, make sure it doesn't fall off. There you go. So there's all the electrics done. Not uber neat, but not too bad. You know, a bit of a mess in there because some of the wires are a bit long. Like I say, bridge volume, neck volume. Normally on these it's neck volume, bridge volume. I like the bridge volume right there because I'm a bridge player, so I always have it closest to the pickup. All the electrics are new, three ways new. Jack is original. Is that original nut? Not sure. Anyway, that is a Tusk nut. Graphtec Tusk nut by the looks of it, so we'll reshape that as and when we need to. Next thing I've got to do now is I'm going to put the back plate on. Blah 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 blah. Got loads of screws in my parts drawer. Get back plate on there, and then I'm going to move it on to the neck. We'll get the frets levelled. I'll get the neck absolutely straight. We'll go across with a not straight edge. Make sure the neck's straight. Then we'll go across with a fret locker, which I've got knocking about somewhere. Blah 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 blah. Good one, this one. This is laser cut and milled perfectly flat. No faffing out. It's a 14 quid. Don't get one of the little £5 crap off eBay. Go and get a proper one that's proper level. That's my third one, by the way, but it's the only one that's straight. So we'll go across that, make sure all the frets are level. I could take the neck off to do the frets, should be a lot easier, but I like to have a body there because it gives you some rigidity. So I imagine I can do most of it with hand file, but I'll show you how I go on. I've got crowning files, I've got profiling files and all sorts. So let me get this ready for the frets and back shortly. Okay, so fret leveling, not straight edge across the neck. I'm just going to zoom in just a little. You'll probably notice now sometimes the truss rod only really works from the second fret to the body of the guitar. Sometimes the second fret here, should I say. So you sometimes get a slope down effect here because it's only resting on there. We've got slope, and this is one of those cases where the neck is not absolutely straight. We've got a tiny bit of relief in there, but nothing to worry about, and a little bit on that. So it means the level is from there to here. on this guitar, and that is as level as getting it. If I turn the truss rod one way or another, you're going to have less slope there, but then you're going to have a bigger hole in the relief here. So what I do is it's not a guess, you get to know this by experience. So that to me is a level straight neck, and what we're going to do is we're going to make the level across the frets. So all we're going to do is look at the frets, and that's where the level is going to be, because the playing area, it goes up and down a little bit across the length, only very tight, I mean a very tiny amount, it's just not perfectly straight. So we make the top of the frets the level. As you know, I do loads of refrets and fret leveling jobs. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set not straight edge, not straight edge, my fret rocker, and this has got 4 different lengths, and it means we can check 3 frets at a time. And it's very simple. We do 3 at a time, and if we've got one that's high, like this one for instance, we'll get a rock. We only ever do 3 at a time, so when we move further up the fingerboard we have to turn and turn, and when we get further up here we turn again. So we only ever do 3 at a time. Anyway, I'm going to go across the whole fingerboard. I'm going to mark off any frets that are high, and I do think this is going to need a complete fret level, which in itself I charge 100 quid for that, so, but let's get on with it. That's definitely high, and I'll check 3 areas. I'll check the middle, far side, near side, far side and middle. So the whole fret here is high. That's because of this little slope off at this end, but we'll see where and how we are on the next ones. And if my arm's in the way, I do apologise. Rock there, okay there, okay there. So just on this far edge. So it's what I call 3 areas. I call them 1, 2 and 3. So you've got 22 frets by 1, 2, 3, 66 areas we could have high spots. But all I'm going to be doing is levelling down the high spots. I've explained many times on my previous videos about fret levelling, so peg back a little, go level up. But yeah, we're looking okay. In the middle, just in the middle on fret 11. So far we've got 3 frets need attention, which is not too bad. If I can get away with doing it with just files, I'll be really happy with that. But we'll see how we go on. I might need to level a whole lot. In the middle, just in the middle of fret, that wasn't 11 was it? That is 11. Fret 14 just in the centre. Probably going to get a few more where the neck joins the body. It's normally where you get high frets. But so far so good. That's really not bad at all. Don't worry about the 21st one being, the 23rd one being a little bit high, because the 24th one, it makes no difference, because you've only got there to go, you can't get a buzz. Right, that's absolutely fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4 high frets. It means I can do these with files rather than skimming across the whole lot with a levelling beam. I'll show you a levelling beam. Basically it's a 2 by 1 inch piece of steel with milled flat edges along that side and along this side, with 240 grit there, 400 grit there. And what I do is, if I was levelling a lot, I go across the lot with 240 grit, get them all level. Once they're level, I'd finish up with a 400 grit just to smooth off some of the scratches. But I don't need to use that today. I'm going to have to do it all with files. So, I'm going to move the camera back to where it was. 1, 2, 3, 4 to do, really easy. Once they are levelled, I'll recrown them and then we'll polish the whole lot. I'll explain that more as we get into it. So, fret levelling, when we've only got a few frets to do, how will we go on about it? Well, when I price up a job, what I do is, if it needs less than 5 frets levelling and crowning, I'll get them in an intensive setup, which an intensive setup is a basic rebuild, from a strip and rebuild from bottom to top, including electrics and up to 5 frets crowned. And I would recommend then an intensive setup. But if you need more than 5 frets, then we have to go up in price and we have to charge a bit more, because we need to level the whole lot. Because the thing is, for instance, I need to change this fret high in this area here. And once I alter this fret, it's going to change its relationship to these 2 and these 2 next to it, and I'll explain how that works. This is the fret here, but when I lower that, it's going to change the relationship to these 2 this side, because that is now going to be lower. Does it also now then make this one high? And then again, this one, if that one's high, if I take that lower, does this one then become high? So it alters the relationship between the two frets next to it. This is why once we get above 5 frets, I would just recommend we skim across the whole lot and we do it all with a beam, a flat bed, and we just do the whole lot. But that is time intensive, it takes a long time. But when it comes to something like 4 frets like this, I'm thinking I could just level these and we can get them all level anyway across the lot, because these are 4 high ones. Doesn't mean we're all on level. So what I'm going to do in this case is, what I normally do, I'm going to do this one, and what I normally do is I tape up this body here, because I don't want to hit it with a file. Now I always have a cloth handy, so I'm going to just cover that with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tape up each side of the fret, but I'm going to rip this piece of masking tape in half. That's what I'm going to use, because I want it inside the fret so I can still check the level. So I don't want the masking tape over the fret next to it. So all I'm going to do is just go over and over, and this is to stop me in case I dig into the fingerboard with a file. I'm not going to mark it. So there you go. So what I would do is, I have 3 files. I don't need that. I use this because you always wipe a file after a use, and I'm going to show you the 3 files I'm using to do this job. And the files are clean anyway. So first one is I have a Swiss number 4 cut file, very, very smooth and very sharp, and it's a brilliant file for just removing material. So I need to remove material on the centre here. So all I'm going to do is just ever so gently just follow the curve of the fret, and then I'm going to check with the fret rocker. And we're still high because we're getting a rock. So cloth, wipe, and again I'm going to go across again, removing a little bit more material, a little bit firmer, and we're going to check again. Okay, good there, good there. And I think we're good. Tiny bit there, just right on the centre. So again, I know where I want to be. I can see, because there's a little line on the fret. And all I need to do now is just a little wipe over. And I can feel the filings on this file already, just on 3 small strokes. And I believe, because I can feel, that feels right to me, and I'll check. And that's absolutely spot on. But now what we do is, now we've removed material from there, we've got to check the next to each side to see if that's gone high. And it hasn't. It's not altered the relationship. The only way it's altered the relationship between the 2 frets next to it is this fret is now level with these and these. So it means it's level with the majority of frets. So now what we need to do is, we've slightly flattened the top of the fret. So what we need to do now is we need to, where it's gone flat slightly on the top, we need to put that curve back in, or the crown. And I'll use a 3-edge file for that. And this has 3 edges, very sharp. This is round about a number 3 cut, possibly a number 2, but it's a lot smoother than what I used to use. And these edges, or the corners, are actually ground, flat and smooth, so we can't dig into the fingerboard. But what we do is with this, because it's at an angle, we're just going to glide it across, and we're going to put that curve back in. But as I need to make that curve more pronounced, what I do is as I'm filing, I'll roll it across toward the camera on the far side and away from the camera on the near side, and I'm going to create that arc each side. I'm going to do that side first, and I'll do this side next. And it's just, you need experience to know what you're doing with this, but it's very simple to understand. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this file toward, and the cut is on the forward stroke, by the way, just roll it toward the camera. Then on the other side I'm going to roll it away from the camera. And now I'm angling away, and that has now created that beautiful D shape on its side from going flat to that again. We've now got the crown, and now what I'll do is I'll take my 3rd file, which is already profiled to match the arc of the top of the fret, and this is just going to remove any burrs. I could do it with just this, but I've always used the 3-edge file, and I prefer to do it because you get a feel for it, and I just like sticking to traditional methods. But all I'm going to do with this now is just round off the top of that file, just remove any excess burrs. I'm just going to smooth it off, blow away all the filings, clean the file, always clean after doing 1 fret, and that is that fret done. That's beautiful. So now I'm going to check the fret again, and it's level with the frets next to it. It means it's not altered the relationship with anything around it. That's absolutely beautiful. So that one's done. So now what we'll do is we take the tape and we'll move to the next fret. I mean, this is my job. I am fret friend. This is what I do virtually all the time. But I do like to explain things to people that probably do not know, and I always do a customer video on any project I undertake. Everyone gets a video, and I've always done that because it covers me and it covers the owner of the guitar. So there you go. So I've done one. I'm going to do another one now. If I really wanted to, I could file the top with this file, so I'm using just the two, but I'm going to work on this one now, and I'm not going to talk while I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it and I'll show you how we go along. So file, wipe, quite a high one this one. Just a little bit, just in this area. Think of 5 areas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that was area 4. 3 be in the middle, 1, 5 in between 2 and 4, pretty much like a strat switch. So anyway, let's just check that one again. It's the way I visualise frets when I'm working on them. I think I need to hit 4, I need to hit 5, and that is level already. So we check the one behind, level, brilliant, and we check the one in front, and that's level. So this one was high again, absolutely fantastic. No major upset there. As you see, I don't need to be talking while I'm doing this because it can work a lot faster when I'm not gabbing. And I normally have music on. In fact, I always have music on, or I'll probably have I don't know, I'll probably have a sermon on or something. Normally worship music, because that's what really gets me going. But anyway, there you go. And that is 2 frets done. Just check again. Beautiful. Check the one back and one forward. And that's fantastic. Now this one's going to be a different kettle of fish because this is high everywhere. I wouldn't normally film all this, but I'm going to just crack on. I'm not even going to use the tape because I know I'm good with the file. I'm not going to hit anything. Okay, just high from areas 2 to 5 now. Now the one next to it's a little bit high because we've removed material from here. We'll sort that one out in a moment. This is what I want about when you get to taking a lot of material off one fret. That should be just about there. That is there, that's good. Now we're going to check the one next to it. It's high on this corner now. In fact, that's high all the way across. So what we're going to do now is altering this fret has now altered its relationship to this one, and this one is now high compared to that. So again, go across. You get the feel for this. It comes with experience, or maybe you're just a natural at it. I know some people are just complete naturals at this kind of work, like I was. I never had any training. I taught myself to do all of this, and it just became, well, it just came to me really naturally. And there you go. That fret is now level with that one, level with that one. We've got no rock anywhere. Oh, we have a little bit there. Tell a fib. So again, now we're now moving across to the next one, and that should just be a very small swipe, and that should be good. And there you go. All the frets in relationship to each other are now level. Tiny, tiny little bit high there. Fantastic, we're there. So we'll check all the areas. Then I must remember which frets I've just worked on. There you go, so 1, 2 and 3. These ones I want minimal work because I've only just took a little bit off this edge here. So basically just glide across, and this one. White file. I've had a message from the new owner of this guitar, Spencer, and he says looking forward to the video. So it's why I've decided to carry on doing this, because now he's going to really enjoy this video, I believe. And that should be the frets, bar one, all done. All these frets are now level with each other and they're re-crowned. Got one more to do, just this edge here. Or that side, just this edge there. Hope you're enjoying this. Perfect, perfect each side. Perfect there, we're in. That easy, it was that simple. Fantastic. Right, these are not going to need a high grade polish because I've removed that little material. Just get away with polishing these with steel wool, which I'm going to do after I've treated the neck. So let's check all of the frets on camera. All areas. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to film me polishing my frets because I need to crack on with this now because I've got a busy day ahead. Absolutely beautiful. These frets are all now bang on. I'll also, off camera, recut the nut slots when I've got strings on. I want a tiny bit higher there, right on the edge there. Like I say, I could use this file as well if I want to, just on the edge. Check again. There you go, that's that one sorted. We'll go with the profiling file. Sometimes does happen when you check again. So there you go, fantastic, we're all good. So I think the buyer of this guitar's got a little bit of a bargain. It was touch and go with this. I could have put it on for 100 quid and people who looked at it thought, I'm not buying that piece of shit. But then someone else looks at it and thinks, wow, that's a brilliant deal. End of the day, the guitar is now structurally sound. The frets are all level. I will give the frets a polish in a moment. They're not going to get a high grade polish. Normally I'd go with 5 different grits of paper. Or 60 grits from 800 through to 2,500 grits on paper, wet and dry, and then I finish off with steel wool. But because these had such little material moved off the top, I'm just going to go with steel wool. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to treat the fingerboard with mineral oil. This will soak in. I'll remove any grime and grease, which is what it will do, and wipe it all off. I'll give it another application, which will treat the wood. You should do this once a year on your fingerboard, just to clean it all up and treat the wood, because it does dry out over time. But there you go. But when it comes to polishing the frets, I may as well stick this on camera right now. We'll go with the fret guard, like so. We'll take a fret guard, some fresh, clean steel wool, nice lovely piece of steel wool there, finest grade steel wool, grade 0000, and we will just polish these frets and get right into these frets, into the corners and over the top. And while that mineral oil is soaking in, I will continue polishing the frets. By the time this mineral oil is soaked in and I've done a wipe off, blah blah blah, the frets are all going to be nice and shiny, the fingerboard will be treated, the neck is absolutely straight, the frets are absolutely level. We can put the bridge on, get some strings on, and we can finalise getting this guitar set up. So I've moved on quite a bit since you last saw this guitar. I finished the fingerboard and the frets, I've put on the strings and I've stretched the strings are at tension. I've also just set the intonation on the saddle, so we've got the intonation basically an open note and a 12 fret note, perfectly in tune with each other. Blah 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 blah, you get the idea. Just slightly altered the truss rod, now we're up to tension, just to give me that little bit of relief. I only like a little bit of relief. Round about the 9th fret I'd be looking at, got a little bit too much there, got about half a mil there, I want like to go about 0.3 of a millimetre, just tighten slightly, and I'd say that was about right. Let me get a feeler gauge. This is my preference, and I would say about 0.3 millimetres at the 9th fret. So feeler gauge, 0.3, frets 9, and let's just, there you go, it's just moving the rule. That is perfect. I do that by eye, and I know what it is. So there you go. So that is the action set for me with the right amount of relief. Now I'm going to look at getting to about 1.75 mil from the top of the 12th fret to the bottom of the string. About 1.75 millimetres this side, about 1.5 millimetres that side. I'll remove the truss rod tool. I shall take the guitar and I'll just get a quick measure. Sorry you can't see it. Let's take my word for it. And that's a little bit low, so I'm just going to set the bridge just that little bit higher. So I'm going to just loosen 1/4 of a turn, check again. Sorry you can't see this. Right, 1.75 that side, change to the other side. I'm going to look at about 1.5 on the 12th fret. That is 1.5, it's perfect. So all I need to do now is get the guitar in tune. And for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but laying guitars down always sends guitars a little bit sharp, I've found. But let's have a go, see where we are. Perfect. Perfect. Yep, intonation is absolutely bang on. She's a little bit sharp. Perfect. And there's a lot of things, that's perfect, a lot of things I do with the guitar in this position. So we are in perfect tune. All I need to do now is alter the height of the pickups. This one's really low. Cracking on a bit here. See where we are there. Still a bit low. Way low. Crikey me. Bear with me a second or two. That's looking pretty good. I like to go about 3 mil with the strings pressed down at the last fret. This one's a little bit low as well. Different screwdriver. Just a little bit more. And I would say that guitar is now set up. Pickups are right. Probably a little bit low on this side. So, recap, what have we done? Replaced all the electrics, we've filled in certain areas with epoxy that end. Super glued some cracked areas just to give it a little bit more rigidity and strength. All new electrics, push pull pot on the tone, neck volume, bridge volume, new 3-way. Given a fret level, polished the frets, treated the fingerboard, replaced the tuners, new tuners on there. The nut height, a little bit higher than I'd normally go with. I'm going to leave it like that. That's well within tolerances. I might just actually lower it just a little bit. I've got my nut slotting files, Hosco. Great files they are. I'm just going to dress the nut, then I think we are more or less done. Then we'll plug it in and we'll have a little test. How's that? Welcome back, and here we are with the guitar all finished. And I'm at a different angle because I'm going to play it in a minute, but there's the guitar. I've already explained how much work it's had. I do have a truss rod cover to put on there, a tatty one. It doesn't quite fit, but it will go on there. The guitar looks as good as it's going to look. I know it's got knocks and dings and dongs everywhere, but it sounds fantastic. And I have it plugged into my Fender Super Champ X2 on channel 14 on the gain channel. I'm using a Boss Super Overdrive just as a little boost, and the guitar is absolutely fine. I've just finished. I also cut the nut a little, so I've got nice low action on my nut. It's had a complete setup from scratch, all new electrics, fret level, complete setup. I sold it to a guy on eBay for £48. I'm sure he's going to be pleased. I think it was 60 quid with his postage. I've not made any money on this. I've lost a few quid, but I'm not too bothered. At least it's going to go to a home, a decent home, and you know, I don't need it. So anyway, let's have a listen to it while we're here. Just sounds great. Perfect for that chugger metal style. So I think you get the idea. I'm now off into town to Music Scene in Mansfield, which is a music shop who I liaise with now and again. They send to me any work they cannot do, which is basically they only really do setup. So any major work they send to my good self here at Fret Friend. I'm going to whiz off into there, get some shipping boxes. I'm going to get this guitar packed up, ready to ship. I might get it shipped tomorrow, all being well, if I really dab in. So, Schecter Omen Extreme, absolutely battered guitar, had a complete setup, all new electrics, fret level, working, playing great, looks as good as it's ever going to look, ready to ship out. I'm Victor Christian, I am Fret Friend. Just before I go, check my website, facebook.com/ng17, that's facebook.com/ng/NGONESEVEN. I'll repeat that because I messed it up. facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. This is me, Victor Christian, your Fret Friend, signing off. So until next time, boys and girls, be good to each other, and I will see you soon.